once again for the
Horror Guys. Yay! I'm Kevin.
I'm Brian.
And we're going to talk about some horror movies that we saw this week and some shorts.
5 movies, 5 shorts.
We saw some good stuff.
Didn't see anything new this week.
Not new.
No.
Last year new, but not 2025 new.
Are we slacking or is the movie industry slacking?
Oh, there's plenty of new stuff coming out. Yeah.
But is any of it worth watching?
I don't know.
Well, what did we watch from last year?
Last year we saw the very funny I Don't Understand You and the epic Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And then traveling back in time, we go to 1958 for the Colossus of New York.
Ooh.
Scary. Yeah. 2012's Found, which was truly disturbing, and 1985's Day of the Dead. That's the third movie in the trilogy after Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, and now we're up to Day of the Dead.
I'm waiting for the Afternoon of the Dead.
I'm waiting for mid evenings of the dead.
Second Breakfast of the Dead.
Yeah, they could really go with that.
They could.
Yeah.
As always, we are brought to you by Horror Monthly Magazine, which you can pick up at horrormonthly.com. It contains all our reviews from last month. New issue coming up. Oh, I don't know what day is this. It's early September it'll be out.
This is the 17th of August as we speak.
Okay, it's not that close. Probably about 2 more weeks for the next issue. So.
Okay.
But you can pick up any of them, all 47 issues if you want. Go back to issue 1 and pick it up. See how much things have changed. And they are all available at horrormonthly.com. Also, at horrormonthly.com are links to our Horror Guys books. The Horror Guys Guide to the Films of Shock Theater. Horror Guys Guide to the Films of Hammer Films. Amicus Films. Specific artists like Vincent Price, Boris Karloff, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, and a lot more. And a bunch of biographies of those same guys. We did biographies of horror icons. We got Peter Lorre, Lon Chaney Sr. and Jr., and all those other guys that we've got talking about. So, yeah, a lot of good horror stuff at horrormonthly.com.
Did you know Hammer Films all have a hammer in them?
No.
That's my story. I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you know Amicus Films all have friends?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, what is up first today?
We should talk about I Don't Understand You.
What?
Yeah. 2024's movie. It was directed by David Joseph Craig and Brian Crano, also written by them. Stars Nick Kroll, Andrew Rannells, and Amanda Seyfried. Runtime's an hour and 37 minutes, and there's a trailer in the show notes, a trailer on YouTube.
Yeah, this just came up on one of my new releases lists, so I don't know what the deal was with it being 2024. It must have just come to streaming or something. I'd never heard of it. Sometimes it just showed up on a list at some point.
Sometimes they get clogged up in the pipes before we can see them.
Then again, the movie poster says, Adivina quien muere esta noche.
That's
I
not
wonder
English.
if it was an Italian movie to begin with.
Yeah, it might have been.
An Italian-made movie with some foreign American guys in it.
And those take a while to trickle to the United States sometimes.
Very possibly.
Yeah.
Well, it's heavy on the comedy and light on the horror elements, with language barriers and misunderstandings leading to unfortunate outcomes. It's not exactly what you call scary, but it is a lot of fun. We both enjoyed it.
And there is a body count.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The closest thing I would compare it to is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Mm-hmm.
But It is really kind of nothing like that as far as the characters go.
Right, but it's that...
It's the same vibe.
Misadventures and people accidentally getting killed and people misunderstanding how they're getting killed. And,
yeah,
things like that.
Well, give us a taste. How's it start?
Well, Dom and Cole are a gay couple recording a video about adoption. They really want a kid. It's essentially a video application for the mother to choose them. And it's a lot harder than it sounds. Well, after that, they pack up and go on vacation in Rome as credits roll.
The mother's about to give birth at any time, and these two decide to take a vacation to Rome.
It
doesn't seem like a good plan in the first place.
Is off, yeah. Well, in Rome, the two go sightseeing. Dom is clearly obsessive, and Cole is well aware of it. We get to know the guys a little bit. They stop in to visit one of Dom's father's friends, and they're given engraved knives as gift.
Little pocket knives.
Yeah, Cole's is misspelled cool. Well, Cole doesn't eat meat, which is kind of weird in Rome. And they start talk about being scammed at one adoption attempt. The family friend, Danielle, Danielle, it's pronounced...
It's Italian.
It's Italian, yeah, it's a guy. Daniel, I guess. But it's pronounced funny. He's arranged a special dinner for them tomorrow night. And he tells them to be careful. And then they're obsessing over, like, why did he tell us to be careful? It's just a language thing. And say, well, what's to be careful of?
It's a very special, very
dinner.
exclusive little restaurant way out in the country that only serves people by invitation. It's a super big honor to be invited there.
And there's literally one table. They serve one party at a time, yeah. Well, the two arrive at their hotel in the country. The man at the hotel gets flustered when two men come in together, spreads their beds apart, not realizing they are a couple. He thinks they've made a mistake and booked two business partners together in the same room with one bed, and he's freaking out. And then he realizes, oh, they're that kind of partners.
Much red-facing.
Yeah, he's pretty red-faced about it. It's pretty funny. Well, Candace, the potential baby donor, calls them on FaceTime. She likes their video and has chosen them to be the fathers of her child.
Okay, maybe that's why they went on
they are
vacation.
overjoyed.
Because they weren't sure yet.
Yeah, they didn't know. Yeah. Well, they go to the farmhouse out in the countryside, to the exclusive restaurant, where an old woman has promised them to make the special dinner. When the car gets stuck on the way there, it's clear that this isn't where they're supposed to be. The truck who stops them is the owner of the property, and he's not happy. They ride along with the man, who stops to shoot a deer, and he drops them off at a place. They don't speak Italian, really. I mean, they barely do.
Way off the Italian countryside,
this
nobody
guy
speaks English.
only speaks, yeah, these people are only speaking Italian. They barely speak Italian. So, well, they knock on the door, and a strange old woman answers.
How about we stop there?
And she's speaking Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she does invite them in.
Mistakes may happen.
Mistakes happen, yeah. Yeah. But it's funny because, and she's very talkative, too. We get to hear what she's saying by way of subtitle. And the guys have no idea what she's going on and on about. And they're
having two different conversations together.
Yeah, they are. And they're interpreting what they think she's saying. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gay tourists who don't speak the local language. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
I think this may be the worst anniversary ever. It's all a comedy of errors and miscommunications, and it's a very bloody one. It's no Tucker and Dale versus Evil, but it's done along the same lines. As we said earlier, it's pretty mild as far as the horror elements go. It's much more of a comedy. But it's good, though, and it all does make sense. Mm-hmm. And I think we both liked it.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, the damage control as things get worse and worse is
I don't understand you.
Yeah. Would recommend that one.
Yeah. And we have done over the past however many years, we did all 5 of the original Planet of the Apes movies. And now we wrap up the 4 new Planet of the Apes movies. Mm-hmm. Good thing there wasn't anything in the middle, right?
Yeah. We won't speak of that.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
When all the good movies are gone, we'll talk about that one.
Yeah.
This one is 2024's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, directed by Wes Bell, written by Josh Friedman, Rick Jaffa, and Amanda Silver, stars Owen Teague, Freya Allen, and Kevin Durand.
Not that you would recognize most of those people.
No. 2 hours and 25 minutes, trailer in the usual place.
Again, they're doing the motion capture, and it's very good.
This is like 10 years or 8 years after the previous film, so they took a good long break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't notice any great improvements, though, in the CGI. It looks about the same.
It was as good, yeah. Well, I think one of the advancements they made, previously they were limited to how many apes they could motion capture at once.
Oh.
And they got better at that.
Crowds.
Yeah, crowds. And,
okay.
Yeah, make groups of apes all being played by, real people. Mm-hmm. They got better at that. The technology got better, the processing bar.
All right, well, spoiler free.
But anyway, it's hundreds of years since the last movie. And the apes can talk pretty well as sign. It's got a little bit of a slow start, spending some time getting to know what the world is like now. And then things pick up for one ape in particular, and we just kind of follow him through the rest of the movie. And basically it's one thing after another for him. The movie continues the story nicely with effects on par with the previous movies, like we said, and we both thought it was quite a good sequel.
I think it's intended to be the start of another new trilogy.
A time
So
jump.
it's not a complete story, really.
It left
But it
up,
kind of is, too.
yeah, it wraps a lot of things up, but it also left it, of course, wide open for, they could make more.
Well, we get an on-screen text snippet that rehashes the first three films. Humans have lost their intellect and the ability to speak, and the apes now rule the earth.
If you recall, it was a disease that was
Did
supposed to be originally a cure for Alzheimer's, and it worked a little bit at first, but then the new iteration of it made humans mute and dumb, and the apes smart and talkative.
And we open on Caesar's funeral just at the end of the previous film. Just a little bit of cameo wrap up there that remind everybody, yep, Caesar's dead. And many generations later, the world has gotten very green and all natural now. Trees everywhere. We watch a trio of apes stalking an eagle's nest. Suna picks one of the eggs and Anaya takes the other. Noah goes without this time, but he finds another nest. That goes badly when the eagle returns, but they intend to raise the birds. There's this whole bonding ceremony where they bond with these birds.
Mm-hmm.
The whole tribe does nothing but eagle raising.
Yeah, it reminded me of the way people do falconry now,
Mm-hmm.
where you train them to hunt and be your companions. And
Yeah. When the trio get back to their horses, they notice a blanket has gone missing. It wasn't an ape, and that's scary. They ride back to Ape Town, and the children all want to see the eggs. Noah's father, Kroll, is the master of birds. Noah tells him and the elders about the echoes that may have come into the valley. They send Oda, a really big ape, to scare them away. That night, Noah sees a human in the smokehouse, and his egg gets smashed. That's really bad since the bonding ceremony is tomorrow.
that is bad.
So he goes off in the middle of the night in search of another egg. He finds Oda, who dies almost immediately. There are enemies coming. Silva and Lightning, two apes from another clan, along with their masked army, ride toward Noah's village. And this is the one scene that stood out to me as being not very good.
Yeah.
Those apes in masks riding on horses. It looked like a cartoon.
A little bit,
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as good, yeah.
By the time Noah makes it home, his whole village is in flames. Noah helps his father release all the birds before Silva comes in. Silva then attacks both of them together, and Kroll soon dies. Silva yells, "For Caesar!"
And at which point
What?
I'm like, what?
What?
But Caesar died years and years ago.
Must be a new Caesar.
Must be.
Yeah. By morning, there's not much left of the burned village. Noah vows to save his captured people from Caesar. He rides his horse through the tunnel into the Forbidden Territory, which turns out to be an old, overgrown human city. The enemy apes definitely rode this way, and Noah's father's big eagle, Sun, follows him. Well, he runs into an orangutan, Raka, who hates the apes in the masks who killed his friend. Raka has books. He explains that those are an ancient way to store ideas, and he's been working to understand them.
He can kind of read.
Raka explains who Caesar was and the new ape who calls him that. He talks about a time when apes and humans lived side by side, but not anymore. The original Caesar is sort of a legend in Raka's views. As the two apes ride on, they notice a human is following them. Raka's all about learning about the humans, but Noah thinks they're just scavengers. They feed the human and give it a blanket. Raka names her Nova. We name them all Nova. I don't know why. It's from Caesar's time. Caesar legend important. And then the two, now with Nova, eventually come upon a herd of primitive humans. Raka decides to stay with them and teach. As Noah rides off, he hears a horn blowing. Silva and his goons attack the humans with nets, just like that scene in the first film.
Mm-hmm.
They especially want Nova for some reason, and Noah rescues her. Noah and Nova. Too similar.
Too similar, yeah.
Even Raka gets in on the fighting. Silva is not pleased. Well, we'll just stop there. There's apes, and there's humans, and there's good apes, and there's bad apes, and there's talking apes, and there's not talking people, and all kinds of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And the humans with nets, where they're catching them by first movie, we mean first
First,
movie.
the original in 1968.
Back in the
yes.
60s, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
There's
of
a lot of
stuff here.
throwbacks. Yeah, there's throwbacks here and there. If you've watched the originals, of course
I'd say more from the first movie than the other sequels, but yeah, there's stuff.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
In the previous trilogy, Caesar did most of the talking, and the other apes mostly grunted and sign languaged. In this one, they all do it, and it's a little weird.
And they still sign too.
Yes,
But they talk a lot more. Yeah.
Kevin Durand, especially as Caesar,
Mm-hmm.
he sounds like Kevin Durand doing Caesar.
Doing
He
Caesar.
does not sound like an ape. And Raka, he sounds like Bortus off of the Orville.
Mm-hmm.
He does not sound like an ape. Caesar sounded like the old Caesar. He was all gruff and he sounded
it's been hundreds of years though,
animal-ish.
and their vocal cords have
it was
developed more.
a little distracting.
Yeah.
Back when it was humans in rubber masks, it made sense. This one, they're a little too humanish.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, anyway, it takes place 300 years after the previous film. As before, there are numerous callbacks to previous films, mostly the original. Does not have any of the characters from the previous film, as it's intended as a new trilogy. Overall, it's an interesting expansion on what came before. I want to see more.
And just a note on technology too in this. Of course, it's been hundreds of years. Everything is overgrown. Everything is rusted. Everything is fallen apart. The cities are crumbling back into the earth. They find this. They get into this bunker. And that's not too much of a spoiler, but they do get inside a bunker full of goodies. Throw a switch, lights come on. Oh, after hundreds of years just sitting there.
It could be geothermal or something.
That's some good technology. Well built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always surprises me when, the cars and the zombie apocalypse work and 20 years later and the power works in these kind of movies, hundreds and hundreds of years. They find a 1,000,000-year-old computer or whatever. These kind of things. Technology isn't immortal.
It's not going to last that long. Yeah. Yeah.
Some technology that might be immortal could be the Colossus of New York from 1958.
Uh-huh.
Directed by Eugene Laurie, written by Thelma Schnee and Willis Goldbeck, stars John Barragray, Mala Powers, and Otto Kruger. Hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, that's short.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a trailer. It might be the whole movie on YouTube.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is on YouTube.
Spoiler free.
Well, this was short, like we mentioned, and it moves well through the whole story. Decently made all around. It's a fine example of 1950s technology gone amok. Mad science. And a creature threatening the city, possibly the whole world. It's a fun watch.
I think it would have been better with maybe another 10 minutes in the middle of it.
Maybe.
He got some weird powers there toward
Suddenly.
the end that were unexplained.
Like suddenly he can do this too.
Yeah.
What?
But it does have some interesting ideas. A lot of people
does,
compare
yeah.
this to like Frankenstein, but it's not really. It's a whole different idea.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Frankenstein was a dead man, came back from, assembled from parts.
Mm-hmm.
He was dead, and now he's alive again.
Uh-huh.
This was a brain that is put inside a machine, and it's all about the sensory deprivation and going insanity and not having a physical body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you live as a disembodied brain? Doesn't sound bad. Maybe it is.
Yeah. Well, they had the technology in the 50s. They do this all the time with
Oh,
people.
yeah, in the 50s, sure. That lost technology.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two men watch a film about industrial machinery and equipment. The film talks about Dr. Spencer's amazing innovations. The heat sensor was Jerry's idea, and it's the key to make the whole thing work. Jerry is set to win the International Peace Prize for his work. I guess they couldn't call it the Nobel Prize for copyright reasons.
Copyrighted, probably. Yeah.
Jerry Spencer is some kind of super genius who's saving the world with his food technology. He hopes that war might become obsolete. They all go to Stockholm to get the prize. On the family's return, everyone talks about how brilliant Jerry is. His father, William, is a brain surgeon, and his brother Henry is an electronic and mechanical genius as well.
Smart family.
Yeah. The plane lands, and the whole family's there to greet Jerry. Little Billy's toy plane blows into the street, and when Jerry runs after it, he's run over by a truck. Jerry is killed on the spot.
No news.
The ambulance takes the body to William's lab instead of the morgue. Well, there's your red flag right there.
Mm-hmm.
William operates immediately, but Dr. John says Jerry was dead already, so what's the point of the operation? He comes out later, says he did all he could. Well, there's a funeral, and William storms out in the middle of it. He swears that Jerry's brain was exceptional, a rare genius. But John talks about God's greater purpose, which enrages the old man. They talk about brains. John believes that without a body, any brain, even a genius, would become monstrous.
And there's your warning right there.
Henry, Jerry's brother, likes Jerry's widow and son. He and Anne talk about how weird William has been since the funeral. William calls Henry downstairs as he's got something to show him. It's Jeremy's brain in a jar.
Hooked up to all kinds of doohickeys, keeping it alive. Yeah, floating in liquid.
He's got an electroencephalograph, and he shows that the brain is alive and sleeping. He asks it a question, and it wakes up and responds on an electronic typewriter. I want to type with my brain.
Mm-hmm, that'd be handy.
This is 1950s technology.
Yeah,
what's going on here?
Why can't we do this now?
Well, William wants Henry to build a body for Jerry using his knowledge of automation. Very quickly, he assembles a huge robot body for the brain. Could almost call it a Colossus.
A Colossus, yes, and they're in New York.
They throw the switch, and Jeremy wakes up. When he sees himself in the mirror, he screams and passes out. It's got that Darth Vader, no! And we'll stop there.
It's a pretty cool effect, the robot body with the light-up head and the light-up eyes. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's clearly a guy in a suit.
Well, yeah.
but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's short, moves very quickly without any filler. The creepy piano soundtrack really adds to the mood.
Yeah, that did help.
It's just one piano as the entire soundtrack.
That was nice, yeah.
The creature is both kind of impressive and a little ridiculous, but it works well for this story. And most of Jeremy's madness seems to come from sensory deprivation, a thing that was only beginning to be studied at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a robot movie, it's not a brain movie, it's a sensory deprivation sci-fi.
Yeah, basically.
In its way.
Yeah.
It had some good ideas, but it was very cheaply and rushed.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty grim and serious, though.
How'd he get those death beam eyes?
Suddenly, he can do this thing. Like, what?
And he gets able to hypnotize with his robot eyes, too.
All of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I didn't like that part. It was too much.
Yeah.
He should have built like a death ray gun.
Yeah.
Why would Henry, who built this robot, have built in death ray eyes? No.
Makes no sense.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I did like it.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I had a good time.
2012 is found, and I'll be honest, I had to reread the synopsis of this. I found it so forgettable.
Huh. Okay. All right.
Directed by Scott Shermer. We only watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I thought it was. This one kind of stuck with me.
Written by Todd Rigney and
creepy.
Scott Shermer. Stars Gavin Brown, Ethan Philbeck, and Phyllis Monroe. Hour and 43 minutes. Trailer in the show notes. That is quite the movie poster there.
It is, yeah. Spoiler free, what happens?
Well, it's a strange coming-of-age story. We find out right off the bat that little Marty's big brother is a serial killer. And the rest of the movie is watching strange things get worse. It's very realistic. The effects are good. And the cast all does a nice job. It is very good.
Mm-hmm. I thought so.
My brother is a serial killer, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we open with Marty telling us right off the bat, my brother keeps a human head in his closet. Every few days it's a new head.
Oh, my.
Keeps it in the bowling ball bag. He opens up his brother's bag, and we see what he means. Well, Marty is 12, big into horror movies and drawing comics. Steve, the older brother, comes home, and he's kind of quiet and sullen. Very graphic animated credits roll. Well, Mom says she has to work overtime, leaving the boys home alone with Dad. Dad and Steve clearly don't get along. Marty seems to do fine with the parents. At school, Marty gets bullied by Marcus. The teacher is especially mean. He doesn't help. After school, Marty runs home to snoop in his mother's old love letters and Dad's porn magazines before checking his brother's bowling bag. And the bag is empty today. So he tries on his brother's gas mask.
So he's got a little bit too much time on his hands.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, Steve comes in and catches Marty and yells at him for getting into his stuff. They talk about Marcus and the bullying problem. Steve says Marty needs to retaliate against the bullies, but then does ask who the bully is.
Oh.
And we can see the handwriting on the wall there. Yeah. Well, later, Marty goes to a fun house and museum to meet his friend David. That was actually kind of a cool place. It's a real place, you could tell, too. It was like a train museum and fun house.
A train museum and a freak show and combined.
Yeah, it was a neat looking place. Well, they talk about the graphic novel they're writing together and also what happened at school that day. At home, Dad's not happy to hear about the situation either. Marty goes to the video store and picks up a movie called Headless, but there's no tape inside, just the empty box. That night, the power goes out in a storm, and Marty goes into Steve's room for a flashlight. Steve comes in, Marty hides under the bed. Steve grabs a shovel from the closet, goes out again. Well, in the morning, Steve tells Marty not to worry about the Marcus problem anymore.
Well, we should probably cut it off right there.
Yeah, stuff happens from there. Yeah.
The severed heads, the physical props here are really well done.
Yeah, a lot of times severed heads in the movies will look like a rubbery severed head. And yeah, these were really realistic.
Yeah, in the beginning, I was really impressed with how the parents are very attentive and trying to be good parents, and yet are still completely clueless.
Yeah, they managed to be.
As the movie progresses, they don't seem like such great people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The bullying situations, including multiple tattletales, also feels very real.
Yeah,
In school, somebody bullies somebody else, there's like 12 people pointing out who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did it, he did it.
Tattletales.
It's a slow build-up, but it never gets boring. It's very intense, helped a lot by the moody, foreboding soundtrack. And it was really good. That's my opinion. I wrote this, and 2 weeks later, I'd kind of forgotten about it.
Wow.
I think it's a very lackluster title.
Yeah.
Found.
It's very generic. Yeah. I found this head. Yeah.
All right. Anything to add?
It's got a little bit of an indie vibe, but I didn't mind that. Builds really nicely. It just builds, and the final scene is that's something. Yeah. How it ends.
1985, Day of the Dead. Written and directed by George A. Romero. Stars Laurie Cardille, Terry Alexander, and Joseph Pilato. Hour and 41 minutes. Trailer in the show notes. First, there was Night of the Living Dead, which invented the zombie genre, basically.
Yeah, it did.
Dawn of the Dead, which showed us that a zombie movie could actually be good. And then there was this tripe. I hate this movie.
Really?
This is the worst zombie movie ever. It tries to be scary. It tries to be a comedy. It tries to be stupid. It's just bad. I don't like this one at all.
Oh, you didn't say that in your comments. You didn't express your hatred.
Well, I mean, it was probably well respected and groundbreaking at the time. I did not see it when it came out.
No, I didn't either.
I saw it on video much later, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's important because it finishes off the trilogy, but yeah. What is there to like about this movie?
I don't know. I liked it. It was good. It's entertaining.
Okay,
and I even said so. So my commentary here, the spoiler-free judgment zone doesn't agree with you. The adventure continues years after the previous movie. The survivors are few, going crazy, and doing the best they can to get by. The practical effects are excellent. The setting is cool. Cast does a good job. This was still very entertaining 40 years after it was made.
The setting is cool. It's very claustrophobic. The practical effects are excellent. I'm not going to say the cast does a good job. Okay. I didn't like anybody in this movie.
They were doing their jobs. They showed up and did the work.
They were all various caricatures.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the point, I think. Yeah.
We open on Dr. Sarah Bowman, who stares at the calendar. She's not happy, but she likes the picture of the pumpkin field. Nature. Don't get much of that where they are.
No.
Suddenly, arms reach out from the walls to grab her. Nope, just a nightmare. She's actually in a helicopter flying over a dead city. There's no sign of life down there. And there's no answer on the radio. John, the pilot, doesn't want to land, but they need to check it out in person. Credits roll. On the ground, Sarah and Miguel yell for attention, but no one hears them.
No one living.
Yeah. They soon wake up a whole town full of zombies. They leave and fly back to their base, a military bunker with chain-link fence holding back huge numbers of the dead. There are only 12 living people left in the base. John suggests taking the helicopter and finding a nice tropical island to settle on, but that would be wrong, Sarah argues. We see this not really a military base. It's a huge decommissioned mine with underground storage for vehicles, RVs, and all sorts of things. Steele and Rickles grab Sarah and Miguel to go bring in a couple of zombies. They have a whole chamber full of the dead, so finding them isn't an issue. They've got a whole corral thing set up to isolate individual zombies as needed. Miguel has PTSD, and Sarah tries to cover for him, even when he nearly gets them all killed. We cut to Captain Rhodes arguing with Dr. Fisher about their experiments. Rhodes has just become the leader of the military group, and he's not a big supporter of the scientists. They, along with Steele and Rickles, point out that Sarah's the last woman on Earth, and there's only 11 guys. While the zombies they brought are for Dr. Frankenstein, or Dr. Logan as he prefers, who's been experimenting on the zombies. He's dissected many of them, but he's got a special zombie, Bub, who he's been training. Sarah doesn't approve of Logan, who isn't really working to solve their problems. He's a bit of a lunatic, but he is learning things that might be useful.
Okay, so he's chopping up zombies and doing stuff with them.
Yep, and there is much conflict. Because everybody in this movie is a jerk.
Pretty close, yeah.
It takes place several years after Dawn of the Dead from 1978, and there aren't many people left. Most of the film is people yelling at each other, and Steele and Rickles laughing like hyenas get annoying really fast. Somebody just needs to shoot these army guys.
Eventually they get theirs.
Dr. Logan is funny, but he's
Spoiler.
obviously a loon, but he's interesting, I guess. The creature effects are much improved here, although the scale of the whole story is pretty small overall.
Because it's just in one little place mostly.
It's
Okay,
about 12 people
not a
bickering and
little place.
arguing.
Okay.
And there are zombies.
And this was a heavier focus on the survivors and how they're dealing with the situation.
Well, so was Dawn, but that was entertaining.
Oh, okay. Yeah, plenty of zombie action. I don't know. I liked it.
Okay.
I thought this was worthy. Thought it held up well, and I was entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see it when it came out. I saw it on probably VHS sometime after.
Did they do a
shortly
remake
after.
of this one?
Not that I know of.
Not that I'm aware of either.
They should. They could.
They couldn't go too wrong with this one.
We could do that.
No, I don't think we're going to do that.
You don't think so? Okay.
Time for the short films.
Inked.
2024's Inked, written and directed by Kelsey Bollig. Stars Chris Cortez, Kai Kenny, and Joshua Mabey. I wonder if we're missing a name there. No, I don't think so.
No.
14 minutes, and it is on YouTube. What happens?
Stuff happens. Oh, a young woman gets a tattoo to honor her father, who has recently died in prison. She has a tattoo artist include some of his ashes in the ink for the tattoo.
Which I guess is a real thing.
Yeah. They watch news reports of a vicious serial killer who was recently executed. Same prison, but there was no execution, no connection to her father, was there?
I kept thinking her father was killed by this serial killer guy, but no, that's not what happened.
Or that her father was the serial killer.
In the beginning, I thought that, yes.
Yeah, but no,
not really.
It's clever how they do it.
Yet this one is really exceptionally good. It takes enough time to get to know the characters, and there's some legitimate drama going on. And when the horror elements start up, they're very well executed, look good, and have a great effects.
Yeah, it was great.
In the end, the whole thing makes sense. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, one of the best of the week.
Maybe one of the best of the year.
Well,
it's not really this year's,
Yeah.
so we can't do that. But one of the best ones we've seen
Best
so
one
far.
we've seen this year. Yeah, one of the best.
This has been a good week for shorts
because we have another one coming up that
Yeah.
was exceptionally good.
We've also watched 2017's Airdrop, written and directed by Jack Gravina, stars Dilyana Delcheva, Elizabeth Elam, and Rodrigo Trebold. Little over 5 minutes on YouTube.
See, I like these simple little ones like this, where they just take an idea, and there's no budget, they just use the tools available mostly to tell the story.
We got 2 hours. Let's go make a movie.
Yeah, and it's relevant with airdrop technology. Technology can be scary and misused, and I don't know. This one's a clever one. Yeah.
What happens?
Well, two girls have been out partying on the town. One asks the other one to airdrop her the photos, which does go as planned, and then the two split up for the night. As one girl goes home, the airdrop messages just keep coming, and they aren't her photos.
Oh.
Ooh, she's being stalked?
Maybe. Well, it's like you said, it's really short and simple. We've seen other short films with basically the same plot, but this one executes it well and never slows down enough to get boring. Technology horror is always fun, since we all deal with it on a daily basis. And face it, who hasn't had an airdrop go badly?
It could.
Usually it just fails. All right, and we got a strange one here, 2025, The Diner, which for some reason was on horror list, so we watched it.
Yeah, the algorithm says this is horror, but I don't know.
I don't know about that. Written and directed by David Shee, stars James Goya, Lauren Norch, and Samuel J. Gleason, 7.5 minutes on YouTube. Well, a waiter working late in the diner turns off the sign and locks the door. He's finally done for the night. Out of nowhere, a young woman bangs on the door needing help. She's totally lost in the wrong part of town. He reluctantly lets her in, and his life will never be the same. Yeah, I was totally expecting her to be a vampire, but that's not the way it turned out.
Yeah, I was expecting that too, actually. Yeah, or something along those lines.
It's got death and time, and it's. I don't know that I'm going to call it horror.
Well, it's really well acted, really well made. We enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but it's more of a poignant piece than a horror piece.
Yeah,
yeah, it's good. It's definitely worth watching. So we'd recommend it, but don't look for scares or horror.
Yes.
Yeah, this was on the wrong list for us.
2024, Rejected. Written and directed by Renee Rivas. Stars Bryn Booth, Austin Buchanan, and Alex Demaritis. 15 minutes on YouTube also. Nostalgia can be killer, says the poster.
Yes, it can.
What happens?
Well, this is an old videotape of one of those old clip shows that used to be popular in the 80s. In this one, the homely hosts introduce 3 commercials for the Sony disc camera that was all the rage at the time. Except these commercials were all rejected for one horrible reason after the other.
You kind of got to wonder, why did they make these commercials? Well, the 3 segments are all very good. The one with Bigfoot was especially hilarious, but the first segment was probably the best of the bunch. I thought that the hosts doing the introductions were a little over the top. These are some seriously ugly made-up people. Mm-hmm. It might have been better if they'd have just played the part straight. These are real films that have been rejected.
Mm-hmm.
Still, what we get here is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. And Sony is totally not Sony.
No,
not at all.
I always wanted one of these cameras with a disc in it, though. The disc camera. You put in a floppy disk, and you got basically unlimited film.
I vaguely remember seeing those
and that
existing, but
so
I never had one.
Miraculous at the time. You didn't have to deal with those memory cards or anything. And nowadays with Wi-Fi and iCloud, and who cares about storage?
Yeah. Back then it was a thing.
All right, my favorite of the week.
Mine too.
2017, Lunch Ladies. Directed by J.M. Logan, written by Clarissa Jacobson, stars Donna Pironi, Mary Manofsky, and Daisy Kershaw. 19 minutes, so it's kind of long.
What would Johnny do?
It is on YouTube.
What would Johnny do at a time like this?
WWJD, yes.
What would Johnny Depp do? These 2 lunch ladies, they're obsessed.
Well, tell us about the Lunch Ladies.
Well, they work in the worst school that ever was.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, but still, there's one bright spot. They both love Johnny Depp. And they've won a chance to cook for him. The problem is they aren't very good cooks, and they're both on the verge of being fired. But that doesn't escape the school's students, especially one nasty influencer and cheerleader. So what would Johnny do? If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. We've seen all of Johnny's movies, and we know what he would do.
Well, like we've alluded to, this one is truly outstanding. It was really... The production values are some of the best we've seen in a short, and the comedic acting is perfect. Timing is everything, is just the way it needs to be. And the Johnny Depp stuff is funny. The students... both before and after their special lunch are pretty outrageous. And even the sets, they have Soviet-era propaganda posters
I love
on the
that.
walls. And, yeah, a lot of thought went into this one, and it shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would totally watch a 2-hour version of this one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And there's one small detail that I really appreciated, but they've got a poster of Johnny Depp in Don Juan DeMarco on the wall in their kitchen, and doing the lip-to-lip kiss. You put your fingers on their own lips, and then press their fingers to the poster.
That poster is worn
It's
out.
all worn. His lips are all worn away from them doing this so often and so long. It's really good.
Yeah. All right, well, that is it for this week. Stop in next week for more horror and more shorts and more good stuff.
More.
If you can't wait till next week, you can sign up for our weekly email list at horrorweekly.com, or stop in at our 2 blogs, horrorguys.com and flashfright.com. Flash Fright is just for the shorts. Horror Guys is just for the longs.
Okay.
Is longs a word?
It is now.
Feature films.
You just used it. It's a word.
Yeah, and we got some new stuff for you next week. What do we got next week? Osiris is one.
We have Raw and Row.
Row, yes,
Row.
It's a new
Row and Raw.
release coming out. I don't remember. It's someday next week is when it's going to be. It's not been released yet, but it's coming soon. It's about people rowing across the Atlantic, and things go badly.
Yeah, it does.
Who would have thought that would happen?
So it's a claustrophobic kind of set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is it for this week. I'm Brian.
And I'm Kevin.
See you next week.
See you.